Hey guys, so I've got a lot to fill you in on. So last week, I had said I wanted to get back on my regular schedule. Well, that didn't happen. We've had a lot happen this whole week between the weather and my generator and just crazy stuff going on. So I will explain to you what I've been dealing with all week. It's been absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so for starters, if you guys watched my last video, I think it was my last video, I showed you how, like, we got all this rain, and it, like, flooded, like, the front of my camper, like, it's all mud, like, a bunch of crazy hot mess stuff, right? Well, it continued to rain for, like, the next 2 or so days, and it was cold. It, like, dropped down into, like, the 20s, and I was already having problems with my generator, brand new generator. We've had it for, like, 3 weeks. And it's a good top dollar generator, so you shouldn't have problems with it. Luckily, we bought a warranty for it, because I was having problems with it. I would turn it on and it would run for just a couple minutes and then shut off, and then it would give me trouble to turn on. It just would not turn on for me. And then I'd finally get it on and it would run okay until it shut off, and I'd go to turn it on again. It did this for a couple days, and I just decided just to take it back and get a new one. And so, what was it, Wednesday, I drove an hour and a half to the closest Harbor Freight to exchange this, right? And like a dummy, I should have called first. I get there, and the guy said they were out of stock in these generators, and they didn't have any more inverters, which means that it's quiet. We want a quiet one. That's why we paid a little more money, so we could have a quiet one. And also, like, the one we bought, it on 2.5 gallons of gas, it runs about 11 hours, give or take. And the other one that they had, which ran for like 13 hours, ran on 6 gallons of gas, but it wasn't an inverter, and it takes more gas for a whole whopping 2 or 3 more hours. So anyways, I was like, okay, I will just come back tomorrow and I will get the new one. But the guy's like, well, you're gonna want to be here right when we open at 8, because we have, a lot of people that come in and want these generators, so we don't hold them. And I was like, all right. So I leave my house at like 6:50 in the morning to drive the hour and a half there, which I got there about 8:20. It wasn't bad. It was just ugh. So anyway, so I got the new generator, and I can't tell you guys like how blessed we are to have like such awesome neighbors. Our neighbors are, the one is Paul's buddy that he works with, and then his wife, and then his wife's mom and dad. So we have like a little community kinda, I guess. So anyways, so Paul's not home, and so they've been like looking out for me. When the generator went out, I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do for heat? Because it went out, started being funny like Sunday, and then by Tuesday it just would not run anymore. Like the low oil light came on, and I picked this thing up in my truck, like I put it in the truck, and this thing is at least minimum 100 pounds. Okay, so you girl threw her back out to pick this dang generator up. I took it down into town to like the O'Reilly's, and I asked somebody if they could check the oil for me, and I bought oil because the low oil light was on. They checked it, and they're like, this oil is completely fine. So the guy said he thought maybe it was the sensor that was bad. So luckily our neighbors let us borrow a propane heater, which has been like a godsend. Like, it's really good. Like, it runs more heat than my little heater that I have to plug into like the outlet. So I've been using that. And then Thursday, after I came back from picking up the generator, the neighbors are building like a house over there, so they have like a crew that comes every day. Well, the neighbor had asked one of the guys to come over and like see if I needed help getting the generator out of the back of the truck and whatnot. And so 2 of the guys came over, and they like filled the oil up in it. They plugged the battery in, like got it all set up for me. Like, I just have really awesome neighbors. And like currently, the father-in-law, or the father, he's down yonder, on the excavator that we rented, and he's like clearing that out for us. Like, they're just really awesome neighbors. Like, they've taken such good care of us, especially like me being here by myself without Paul and having to do stuff by myself. They've really been looking out for me. So So yeah, we've had all that mess, and I didn't think it was gonna dry up in time for us to even get this excavator. Like, I was supposed to get it last weekend, and it was completely way too wet, and it's dried up a lot. Like, it's been sunny the past day or so, so the mud's starting to dry up. So he's down there clearing a spot out for our cabin. And also Thursday, I went and looked at our cabin to make sure that they built it correctly how he asked, because Paul asked for it to be like framed on like 16 on center, kind of like house framing, so so that we could insulate it and do what we wanted, kind of like a house. So anyways, so the cabin looks okay, and as soon as we get all this cleared off, I'm gonna call Monday and schedule them to come out and deliver it. So probably middle of next week, or this week, whenever you're watching this, we'll have the cabin. Super excited. And Paul will be home Friday, so then we'll finish doing all the stuff we need to do. And I'm gonna order a wood stove as well. I found one I could get through Tractor Supply for like $300-ish, and it heated up to like 1,600 square foot. I thought it was fine, but I'm having trouble like ordering it, because the one, like, there's nowhere close that like has it in stock or like in the store, or that you can order online. Like, all the websites tell me I can't order online, like only down in Texas, and I'm not driving to Texas for a wood stove. So anyways, there's like a local hardware store that our neighbors got their wood stove from, that I'm gonna go down and check out their catalog and order something so that we can have some heat. So like right now it's in the 60s, like the low 60s, and if you're wondering, I look bundled up. I'm really not. Like, I have the headband on because my hair is crazy. I got like all the little like nappy flyaway hairs, so it's just kind of to contain my crazy lady hair. But like right now the sun's out, and there's some breeze. Of course, we're up here on the mountain, so there's gonna be a breeze, but it's not bad. And luckily we can get out of that little camper, because I've been going it nuts. And luckily, once again, the neighbors come to the rescue. So Thursday, they have Paul's buddy's wife has a 10 or 11-year-old. So Thursday we went to a Halloween festival with them, and that was really fun. And then afterwards we went to Pizza Hut and ate, which was a big mistake, because the Pizza Hut we went to, like, me and her both have been having the poops for like the past day and a half. We should have known when we seen a dead fly in the broccoli that it probably wasn't good, but we just continued to eat it anyways. But anyways, so last night, after I got the excavator delivered, Paul's buddy came over, because it's his father-in-law that's, you know, working down there for us, and he was on the phone with her for a little bit and then got off. He's like, "You want some wine? She's gonna bring over some wine for you." And I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna deny it right now. Like, I need some wine. And I thought, you know, she'd come over with like a small bottle or like a cup of it, you know, just normal stuff. She comes over. She's got a red Solo cup in each hand, one for me and one for him. And then she's got a big old jug, like, it looks like a 2-gallon jug, maybe just a gallon jug, I don't know, full of wine. It was like Moscato Sangria. Like, it was really good. She filled my whole cup up, like, to the top. And I usually don't even drink that much. Like, I drink maybe half a cup. I'm like, oh my God, she's trying to liquor me up or something. But it was good. Like, it was all good. We stood out here and we shot the shit, and, you know, it was just like, it was a nice adult time that was really needed. Anyways, my week has just been like really crazy, between being cooped up in this camper because of bad weather. You know, it's cold, and my stupid generator went out, so I had to try to keep us warm. Thankfully, the neighbors let us borrow the propane heater. And then I swear, like, every single day I've been down in town, and not for fun stuff. Like, I had to go down and get water, had to go get gas multiple times for the stupid generator, oil, take the generator. I had to go get, you know, water to drink, just like nonsense stuff. Like, I don't, like, Paul swears that I make excuses to go down in town every day, but then when I throw out at him, like, the reason why I had to go down into town, like, it was nothing fun, like, luxurious that I went into town for. Like, either I was down there doing laundry, or I was getting gas, taking the generator. Like, I would be okay with, like, going into town once a week if I could. And I am so over this mud. Like, my kids are driving me freaking nuts. I don't know what it is. I think they're both teething. I don't know, because when I was brushing my son's teeth the other day, I saw he's cutting his, like, molars, and my daughter is cutting her molars, and maybe that's why they're being such shitheads more than usual lately. my son has a thing for mud, and there's a bunch of it, and he decided he was gonna splash in it, and then he like dipped his hands in it, and he's wiping his hands all over his coat and his pants, and then decided to wipe his muddy hands on his sister. So they're driving me freaking nuts. And here I thought like to let the kids out because it's nice, they can play and not be cooped up. Oh no, we can't do that. So it's just been like a really crazy week, and I hope it calms down. Like I'm hoping once we get the cabin, things will kind of lighten up on like the stress load. Like the cold, I can handle that. Like the generator going out, I can handle that. Like, you know, there's always a solution to the problem. And I just haven't figured out the solution to my kids because they're driving me nuts. Anybody got a solution? Like what to have the kids do? Because I don't know. Like I put them to work. I've made them come outside. They're driving me nuts here. But I'm just gonna keep chugging along. If anybody's curious about the baby, he's doing good. Thor, come here, baby. He's kind of learning his name. Hi, baby. He's super sweet, ain't ya? And he loves to be outside, so I think it's gonna make a really easy transition for him to be an outside dog. That was the whole point of getting him. I had a lot of people make some comments like, wow, you're that dog in that camper. Like the camper is a temporary living situation, and the cabin is gonna be slightly bigger. But his purpose here on our homestead is to be a guard dog. You know, we're gonna have livestock. We got the kids out here. You know, our whole property needs protected by something. He is it. He is the solution to that problem. So no, he's not gonna be inside. You know, maybe if it gets really cold, really nasty outside, you know, I'm gonna let him in. That's me, that's my dog. I'm not cruel and heartless and just leave him outside to fend for himself. He's still, you know, gonna be a part of our family. He's gonna have a job. He's gonna have a purpose, and that's to guard the homestead. So to anybody wondering how I'm gonna fit that big dog, because he's gonna get big, into our cabin or our camper. As a puppy right now, he's inside, but when he's full grown, he will be transitioning to be an outside dog. And I don't think I'm gonna have any troubles because he likes to be outside. He's been a butthead with my other dog. So they decided yesterday to split up and veer off different directions, so I had to chase them to get them inside. My other dog is a beagle dachshund mix, so of course he likes to be outside too. Not necessarily in the elements, but he likes to be outside. This one, Thor, the English Mastiff, he likes to be outside. He don't care if his paws get wet and muddy, if it's cold, he likes it. So I don't think we're gonna have any troubles keeping him outside. Look, he can't get in there. Get in there! Oh, come on, you gotta help me. Yeah, and look at that. That's all mud. Like, from the boots, from the dogs, from the kids, from me. It's god-awful. I'm having to sweep and mop. Well, I sweep a couple times a day, but I try to hold the mopping off until, like, when everybody's calmed down and in bed, because it defeats the whole purpose of mopping if everybody's still, you know, making tracks through there. So, so I don't have a mop, right? And I don't really need a mop right at the moment. And you're like, but you got mud. What I do is I buy the Swiffer mop pads, and I buy the generic brand because it's cheaper, and I'll lay 2 down on the ground, and I'll put my feet with shoes on so my socks don't get wet, and I'll just mop with my feet, and it works because I only have a little bit of, you know, space to mop. Quit. So that's how I've been mopping my floor, and it's been working out. But the floor gets absolutely disgusting, and there's nothing that I can do about it, because we're tracking it in. I mean, even trying to to keep the boots outside, like, even though I wipe the dog's feet off, they still, I mean, mud still accumulates on the floor. So I'm hoping once we get the cabin, and I think what I want to do, and we'll see how it plays out. So when we get the cabin and we start, you know, like, putting the walls up and laying the floor down, I want to do like a little maybe 2x2 or 2x4, probably 2x4 space right in front of our door of like the ceramic tile, like the rock looking stuff, and then do maybe some hardwood floor But I think like the tile right in front of the door will be better than like the hardwood, because it's more like durable for like the wet than hardwood floor is. Like, if you get what I'm saying, like it doesn't ruin it, like get underneath of it and make it bubble up or whatever. So that's my plan for in front of the door. So I've just been out here surviving and surviving the kids. That's my biggest thing, is the dang kids and the mud. Anything else I can look past, but the mud is what's getting me. And so I've been letting my beagle, my dachshund is what they're called, when we're outside, I don't put him on a chain. Like, I just let him kind of be free and do his thing with guidelines, like, you got to stay in my sight. Well, he's been naughty. I mean, given he's a beagle and they catch a scent and they take off. He's been doing that, and he wants to do that at nighttime. So he's grounded, and he is on the chain, and he doesn't like it, but I'm sick and tired of chasing him down. Like, he's going clear over to the neighbor's house, and I'm just worried he's going to be on somebody's property that doesn't want him over there, and they're going to shoot him, and then I'm going to be really mad and take my revenge or something. But so he's being chained up. He what was it, 2 nights ago, I got home from, it was Thursday. I got home from trick-or-treating, and I let the dogs out, and he immediately takes off. Like, didn't give me no time to get him or nothing. Takes off. He's gone for almost a half an hour, and I'm out here pitch dark on the four-wheeler looking for him. I even go over by the neighbor's house to look for him. Couldn't find him. I'm yelling, I'm whistling, could not find him. And it's cold. My hands are like frozen solid. So I come in and I'm calling Paul and I'm cussing. I'm like, I'm so effing tired of this dog, and if he don't come home alive, I'm gonna kill him. And I really wouldn't, but I was just really mad. So he came home eventually, and so that was his punishment, is he is to be chained up now. And maybe after a week he'll stay up, and listen when I call for him. He was doing okay. Like, I would call and he would come, or even when I would turn the four-wheeler on, he would come. He would hear the four-wheeler and come. He didn't do that. So he's getting a little more like ambitious and brave to like venture out, and I don't like that, because the neighbor dog, the outside dog, we found her one day clear down by, like, down the mountain, like 2 miles down the mountain, and we're like 3 down the mountain. So I don't want him going down that far, because he's not an outside dog. So like I said, this whole week has just been like madness. Like, and I didn't film because I didn't feel like filming was a priority over like trying to get things, get heat in the camper and get my generator fixed or taken care of. I mean, and I know I vlog for a living, but some things are just not. Some things are a bigger priority over vlogging and like showing you guys, even though I would have loved to show you guys, but it wasn't my top priority. So here I am now explaining it all to you, and I'm trying to do better, like, when things happen, to grab the camera and, shoot it or whatever, but sometimes it's just not like, I don't think about it, and it's not a priority, like I said. So here I am, kind of telling the story of what else went down the past week. So hopefully I can get back on my schedule next week. I'm really trying, so it should calm down. I'm still trying to learn, like, to prepare before things happen. Like, when the bad weather came, I was not prepared. Not at all. And I really didn't pay attention to the weather. Like, the night before it started raining, I looked and it said, like, a 80% chance of rain. But I was thinking maybe just for a couple hours. But no, it rained for, like, the next 4 or 5 days. So I gotta learn to prepare myself, and that's part of being off-grid, is you learn. It's a learning process. And I just gotta learn to pay attention to the surroundings and make sure I'm stocked up on, gas and water, and, I've got a backup for if something goes down, like my generator, which we will be buying a propane heater, because those things are awesome. And propane's really not too expensive to fill up like a 20-pound tank. So that's one plan we're gonna put in. So, but yeah, I'm still learning to like try to work things out and prepare before all the craziness happens. So, but it's been fun. I mean, like I said, the only stressful thing that I've really been dealing with is my kids in the mud. Other than that, I can handle everything else, you know. Like when the generator went out at like 3 o'clock in the morning, I could handle that. I got up and I tried to problem solve and came to the conclusion it was not going to work. So I can deal with that stuff. But like the biggest thing stressing me out is these kids. And I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like why that is my biggest stress factor right now. So life goes on though, so we will get over this little slump hump that I'm in, so we'll see. Do y'all see that? I don't know if these are turkeys or guineas. Did you see it? Look at all of them. I'm seeing how close I can get to these. I don't know. I think they're turkeys. I don't know what those are. If they're a turkey, they're the hens. But they've got like a blue head and they've got the little gobbler thing. But I don't know. I think they were at my neighbor's yesterday when I was over there, and she said they were guineas, but they don't look like guineas. I don't know. They're in there. I ain't getting them. There's like 8 of them. They're not coming out. I even tried to call them. I was like a turkey, but it didn't work. So anyways, guys, that has been my week. Full force, like chaos, stress, like you name it. That's what I went through last week. So hopefully this week can be a normal, you know, settle kind of, I don't know, just not chaotic week. I don't know. We'll see. I just, like, every day is a new adventure, apparently. So stay tuned because we will be getting our cabin this week. I'm super excited. We got all of the land, like the spot cleared out for it. Like super stoked. I will show you guys in the next video. So stay tuned because more adventures will be arising. So anyways, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.